if you're not content and you don't have that pure joy in your life that comes with a relationship with Christ and having that relationship in your marriage, one of you will eventually leave. Hi guys.
This is pretty much been explained.
Jonathon Daily. Pearly Things, and I'm going to try to find the video, but Pearly Things, this woman has gained a lot of traction online for really being like a backer of males against the modern feminist ideology of just man hatred, and she's gotten a lot of traction that way, and I agree with a lot of her points that she makes. This one video struck a chord with me though. She says that a lot of women nowadays marry beta males, or they settle. So they marry someone who they just kind of end up, they want to get married, and they do it because whatever, I guess financial security or something. It's someone that they're not actually, it's not the man they actually wanted. They settle.
Many men commit suicide after this situation because their entire community thinks they're an abuser. They are in debt, a lot of them. A lot of them can't afford the child support payments that they have to pay. Many lose their jobs because of the stress. And many of them have kids that hate them because of what the mother has said about them. What did this woman do to deserve $20,000 a month? I know how hard it is to make that. You guys likely know how hard it is to make that absurd amount of money, and now is rewarded with 2 houses and $20,000 a month for breaking up a marriage. What on earth could she do to deserve that? I don't even think if he cheated that she would deserve that, to be honest. She could have been a perfect wife for 20 years, but $20,000 a month is absolutely insane. And he did what a lot of people do. They get married young. If the men between the ages of 50 to 80, a large portion got screwed over in divorce. If the men under 40 are on track to be screwed over in divorce, what would be different about the next group of men? Now, again, I think marriage is a beautiful thing. I hope everybody can have a wife and kids. But the truth of the matter is, when women get power, we tend to abuse it.
This is my take on it. And maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I don't know. But first off, you shouldn't get married at all if you think you're settling. Just no. You need to think that you have someone, you love someone, and you are equals. Now, you're not settling down to their level. That's terrible if you do not get married, because you will eventually break their heart, leave, destroy your family, especially women. They will put their own happiness above the family's, generally speaking, not always. And this brings me to the point I was kind of hinting at earlier when we were talking about luxury beliefs. My point being that you need to have God in your marriage, because no matter what, God is supposed to reflect, your marriage is supposed to reflect the selfless love that Jesus Christ expressed when he gave his life for us. And you have to have that in your marriage if you want a successful marriage, because having beliefs and having love like God had is being content. If you're not content and you don't have that pure joy in your life that comes with a relationship with Christ and having that relationship in your marriage, one of you will eventually leave, or both of you. Because if you're marrying just for financial security and just for happiness, as they try to say these days, there's always going to be someone out there. There's always going to be a richer, more handsome, more successful person that's going to give you attention at some point. There's always going to be that. And if you have that attitude toward marriage, you're going to leave and you're going to destroy your family. But if you have that pure joy that comes from a relationship with Christ, that being content with your life and understanding the value that you bring and keeping your family together. And I see this so often, especially with clients, people regretting, they get to their old age and they realize, man, I don't have a relationship with my kids anymore because I destroyed our family, essentially, because I just wasn't happy at the time, because you didn't have that relationship. And you have to have that. Just loving someone, unfortunately, as humans, it's not enough to maintain a successful long-term marriage. So I agree to an extent what Pearly is saying, but what you really need is have that relationship with Christ in your marriage. And it's much, much easier said than done. Otherwise, like I said, you need to be content and be happy where you're at and being joyful and being grateful. And all that comes from a relationship with Christ. If you don't have that, you will eventually leave, because like I said, there's always going to be someone out there. You know, there's almost 8 billion people in this world. There's always going to be someone richer, more successful, more handsome, more new and exciting relationship that you can grasp at out there. And if you don't have that relationship I just described and those feelings of being content and grateful and grace, if you don't have those, you will leave and you will break up your family and you will destroy it. And we need to get back to a society that understands that. Well, that's pretty much all I have. Again, thank you guys for listening. Please like, share, subscribe on YouTube, and keep the momentum going for us. Thank you.
For the latest in case updates, legal tips, news, and politics, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and our other socials, and above all, subscribe on YouTube to get your dose of excellence on a daily basis.